Well, the top shot streets are a dangerous place, so you better tune in to a credible face like this one. Yeah, this one. And you know he's not alone, and they're coming in hot. We got a lake so THC, he's dynamite. THC, I'm poison night. THC, we stars medicine load. THC, watch it explode.
Well, well, well. How the tables have turned, my friends. Welcome to a very special edition of Happy Hour. Even though it's like 11 a.m. on the West Coast, I've already finished my coffee. I got to go get a second cup to keep it going. But how's everyone doing? We got a lot of people here in the streets. I'm not going to do a full-on Mikey Zacks impression, but I'm seeing I'm seeing Borland, I'm seeing Fenny, I'm seeing Ryan B, JJ L in the streets. Ryan's here, Easy Money. Everyone's talking about the all-day pack drop, right? This is about where I'm at. I did line up. I lined up and I'm right around there. I forgot what number. Let's see. I am 21,000. Yes, absolutely a THT ambush. If you could see Mike's face when I clicked that button as the song changed over, this is what it was. He's jamming out. He's working on something, and then he sees it and he goes. He just hits me with that. Just a complete disappointment. But you got to hit the music, right? You got to hit the stone cold, hit the music. So yeah, what's going on, everyone? I'm gonna wait for the NFL all day drop for Mike to get into all that stuff. I want to talk UFC, right? I was gonna try and do like a UFC specific show, but I thought, I don't know if we're there yet. I think for the next big fight, there's a good fight this weekend. It's a fight night, but I think for the next big show, we'll do a little bit something, but I want to keep it in the conversation because we've actually had quite a bit of news. So I will pull up my account and talk about this specifically. Oh, just in time, Mikey Zacks.
What's up? Sorry, the spaces was going on, so I was trying to catch a little bit of that before I jumped on. But
got it.
We're back.
Got it. All right. Well, we're jumping into UFC right now. You want to talk about that? I know there's some people excited about it, and there's actually news with everything. So
there's some new what news? What news happened after the drop?
Yeah. So I'm going to share screen and jump right into it. So there was a challenge that happened, and I got my Volkanovski here. So
there we go.
Nothing crazy. My favorite year in history, 1920. So I got that going for me. But this was an amazing fight. If you didn't watch it, I mean, he looked unbelievable. So I'm going to play the moment. It turned out, I thought, pretty great.
Yeah.
If he gets knocked down again, I think it's safe to
watch this. Bang, bang. Good night.
Wow.
Forget.
And still the best featherweight in the world. Make it 21 in a row.
Bang.
That's nice.
He came. I mean, that round shouldn't have continued. I think at the beginning of it, Alexander was like, "Are we sure you still want to keep going?" And the ref was, I think it was Herb Dean, was watching it the entire time. He was ready to call it. I wish his team had thrown it in. Korean Zombie, his team had thrown in the towel, but they didn't. But it shouldn't have went that far. But they stopped it immediately. Volkanovski was quick, was snapping hard. So it turned out it's a cool moment. So this was part of the challenge. And I think on the marketplace, it is about, I want to say at about 100. It's holding around there, which is pretty good. So 85. So it's dipped. We imagine it was going to dip a little bit, but yeah, undercutters are coming out big. So that was one thing that happened, which was nice. We got this moment. It was just airdrop to our account. You didn't know what you got. No pack situation. What were you going to say, Mike?
How many of those were completed?
I think it was like just over 3,000, 3,400, nice. I want to say, or something like that. Nice. I guess I can go back to mine, and I think it said it there. 3,042.
All right.
But then this popped up. So I've missed a few notifications and all this kind of stuff, but a challenge is another fight this weekend. So they're doing the cheat code stuff too, which is great. But it's a handful of moments. So that the headline is a couple of really strong female fighters, and so some of the moments that you can have these challenger moments, right? Along with the Clay Guida, because he's fighting as well. Or I'm sorry, contender moments and his challenger moment. I always flip those. This is pumped to like $200, which look, I like Clay Guida, but I don't know that I'm a buyer at this to try and complete to get that challenge reward. I don't know that it's going to be worth the cost there.
Yeah.
So, this is what it is. There's a cheat code, obviously. I'm not going after this one because it's not. I'd have to spend. I think for these moments, they're not that pricey.
Yeah.
It's this one that's pumped to 200 that I'm like, I don't. Clay Guida is a fun fighter, but not what I'm chasing. And for the reward, I'm not chasing that either. So it's cool though. It's fun that this is happening. That things are happening. The other thing we can talk about is, well, I want to address the chat. We should look at this. So sold my Nate for 350. That's what I was going to get into. The Nate Diaz stuff. Yeah, like 350. Wow. Talk about a W.
What was the floor now? Like 180, 160, something like that?
It's less than that. So, well, at least for Nate. So let's see what Nick is at. He's at 107. So yesterday, my prediction before they hit the marketplace was I thought they were going to hover at about 140. And they did. They were at 140 for quite some time. And they've dropped. And I think they're going to continue to drop. I think they're the new shiny thing for now. And they're going to continue to drop.
Okay.
It's interesting, though, that Nate is so much more coveted. I guess he was a little more accomplished and maybe current UFC fans know him a little bit more. But to me, I was a huge Nick Diaz fan. Like, I thought he would talk even more shit than Nate. So I didn't realize the discrepancy would be that big. I don't know. I'd love to hear from the chat if they thought the same thing. But in any case, I'm not a buyer at either of these prices. I would like to own these, but I have a feeling my gut was that we'll see Nick at about 80, 75 to 80, which is still double what the pack was. And I think people will just want like, hey, I get to double my investment. Great. I'm out. And I'm a buyer there. For Nate, it's 100 maybe. I don't know. This is still too pricey for me. If we've learned anything from Top Shot and even from the UFC marketplace, things drop. They will all come down. Like I'm not a buyer at this. And I know it's a small mint count in this, but you look at how many are available, 162, 174 out of what, 1,400? That's not much at all.
Right.
So I'm cool to wait on both of these. I'd love to have in my collection, but I'm not there. I'm not there yet at all.
What was your take on like the Diaz tweet?
Yeah, I want to pull it up. And talk about that. So let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Because it's interesting. So let's go. So this is what he said. It's shit like this. Why I need to get the fuck out of Sorry F UFC. Didn't you guys suspend Nick for 5 years and find me hella money for a vape pen? Now you're reaping the benefits. I hope nobody buys this bullshit. So my take on this is that is full Nate Diaz. That is absolutely their MO, is to completely talk shit. So the way I looked at it is the only way you maybe would have got him to not say anything negative is if 100% of the profits went into his bank account.
Yeah.
That is the only possible way. And even in that scenario, he would still talk shit. Now I get why he's talking shit a little bit more about the fact that it's dropping on 420 and we do all this stuff. And now you're thinking it's cool, but when it was in the octagon, it's not. He wants out of his contract, all this stuff. So he was gonna talk shit no matter what. He's totally entitled to his opinion. And this is me as someone who loves the Diaz brothers. Like I do, I really do. But they love to talk shit. That's just part of who they are.
Just the vibe.
100%. I'm legitimately saying they could have been getting 100% of the profits and still would have talked shit about it. Like every single dollar going into their account, and Nate still would have talked shit. So, I think UFC did a little bit of like a middle finger there to say, I don't give a shit. Fuck them. Just do it. You guys like it? Do it.
Yeah.
So it's for me on the dapper side, what I would have maybe looked at is we're doing this really cool pack. I'd want to say, are we getting fighter support in the way that they did for the others, like with Izzy and all these other things, and Francis Ngannou wearing stuff on the chain, like all that kind of stuff. I like my dream scenario here was they do this. We're doing this pack for them. They're super pumped. And then they're in the UFC Strike Discord the day of the drop, chatting with fight fans. during the drop. Like, don't even have to be on the live stream. They're just in the Discord answering some fun questions and doing that stuff. Or if it was a voice chat in there, something to say, hey, we're on board. Obviously, the Diaz brothers are not the guys that were going to do it, but that was my dream scenario. So if it wasn't them, do you get like Rampage Jackson, right? Like Rampage had some amazing fights. He's a legend, a lot of fans. He's in the Discord chatting with people or something like that. And then you get their support for like a throwback pack. But you know, there was nothing that was going to please them. They were just going to be exactly who they are. So nothing is surprising about it at all. It's they're like, you talk shit, it's a 420 pack, and yet UFC suspends us for all this stuff. It's been different times. It was different times too, like when all of that stuff was happening. So it's not a 1-to-1, but I just thought it was funny. I wish we could have had their participation so it doesn't look like Dapper's getting shitted on. But someone mentioned this in our Discord too. If anything, it gives UFC Strike more attention to those people that are following him. Those 2 million people that are following him are saying, wait, what is this? I kind of want to see what it is. So it's free promotion. So
could be organized too. Could all be a bit.
Maybe.
You know?
And they're paying them on the side. I don't know.
Right. Like that's the way, like that feels like a more organic ad than you know, buy my NFT.
Yes. Yeah. So it's fun. It's been fun looking at all this stuff. There's like I mentioned, so there's a challenge. There's a challenge this weekend. I kind of want to actually go into the card real quick if I can, because the UFC fight that's happening. So it's a fight night, and typically those are you know, not like a main card, but there's fights every single weekend. Doesn't mean that there's not good fights. So let's pull it up. I'm going to share what the card looks like. So Jessica Andrade is the favorite. She's a really strong fighter, has lost a couple of rounds, knocked out Rose, Thug Rose, on her head with like a takedown slam, which is wild. No, sorry, it wasn't Andrade. It was someone else. But anyways, she's been a champ. She's been doing great fighter. So this will be a good fight to watch. Clay Guida is just a lot of fun. He's a lunatic. I don't know if you've ever seen anything Clay Guida before in your life.
I don't
Mike?
think so. No.
He burps, he belches in between rounds because he can make himself do that, and he does it super loud.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yep. And before the fight, he has everyone smack his face, like his team just like slaps him. He's just like a lunatic. So he makes for a good fight, but it's pretty close. I don't know where this is gonna go. I imagine he might just be maybe a stepping stone, as they say, to be like for the next fighter to, hey, you beat Clay Guida, who's like a good fighter, but maybe on his downturn. This one I thought was interesting. I wanted to look at this fight. Was the Alexander Romanov, not to be confused with Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, right? I don't know if it's her older brother. Oh yes, thank you. His brother Jason, his brother Jason slaps him. Pat Bev of the UFC. I don't know if he's that, but yeah, his brother smacks the shit out of him. It's amazing. So but this one, I was looking at this, and the reason why I looked at this fight, and this is from a betting standpoint, Mikey Zacks, minus 1375 for this man here.
So just gonna bet
huge favorite,
like $137 or $137 to win $1. Yes.
So he's undefeated. I started looking at him. I started to look at some of his fights. You're like, okay, this is a large man. This is a heavyweight bout. 6'2", 240. So that's my height. If I gained 40 pounds,
it's a big boy.
If I gained 45 pounds, that's where I'm at. This would be Dustin's physique.
That's rookie year Jokic right there.
It's wild to think about. But so you look at him and you're like, okay, this dude's probably like, he knocks people out. He's a big boy fighter. No, he has more submissions than he does knockouts. It's like 8-4 or something like that. And then I think there's been decisions or whatever. But yeah, 53% of the time it's a submission. So this guy's tapping people out. And I watched some of his highlights. He's getting some side chokes. He also did one choke, which I thought was interesting. I don't even know what you would call it. He just placed his elbow on the guy's throat and then used his weight to just smash it down. I've never seen that, but amazing tactic. Just, I am going to use my entire body weight to smash you with my elbow at your throat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I kind of got interested in watching this fight. Dude's undefeated. And because he's such a massive favorite.
Is that this weekend? The fight's this weekend?
It's this weekend. Yeah. He's a super undercard. And he goes by King Kong, which is also, I thought, pretty awesome. Fighting
That's what it's gonna
the
be.
vanilla gorilla is Chase's nickname, which is also hilarious, but King Kong. Anyways, I just thought this was like an interesting fight because of the disparity in terms of the odds. Like that is a massive favorite, and he does a lot of wins by submission. Yeah, total dad bod. Like
I love it.
also just don't want to fuck with that guy like
Oh.
at all. So,
Um,
anyways, that's the UFC streets right now. That's
I
what's
like
been
it.
going on. Some good stuff, some good fights, fun. You know, it's a fight night. These are typically the free ones that you can watch on ESPN Plus, and you know,
It seems like it's just been positive and steady and nothing too crazy over there, which is good. That's a good thing.
yeah, they've it's also like the marketplace has been moving. Some things have been going up. So, I bought a Colby Covington uh moment the other day to complete the challenge, and I paid about I think 90 for it, and it's up to like 140 now. I'm like, whoa, why is this pumping out of nowhere? And we were talking in the Discord. Join the Discord if you guys aren't in there. But people are speculating, right? He might fight Hamzat next, and if he does, then maybe he's going to be utilized as part of the whatever the challenge is to complete that night. And he's got about 1,500. All his moments only out of 1,500. So I think that's sort of the thought. But he's also like a big fighter, and he talks a lot of shit, and it'll be a good fight. So, anyways, well, thank you, David.
Yeah, that was a good comment. That was a good comment.
I'll take it.
I just want to say I'm in NFL all day line right now, and I think
Okay.
I was last in line. I saw Borland say there was like 24,000 something, and I was 24,000 something. So it was
Wow.
it was like right at the end. And now I'm 23,000. So I'm
What's
gonna be
the
here for a while.
what's the max cap on this one pack wise?
I think you can only buy one at a time, but you can. I think like I'll be able to get a second one if I want. Oh, I seriously, there's 49,000.
Okay,
I think,
that
or
was my ask.
50,000,
Okay.
something like that. So, this one will sell out, but it looks like you're going to be able to get a couple. I saw someone was it Brandon Lamb? No, Brandon was asking about a fighter. So, Andrew Moore says was at 540 in the queue, now back in line at 33K. So
There you go. That's
we
a
got
W.
that. Mihal's going to come on in like 15 minutes or so. We're going to talk some F1, which I've been like saying we were going to do this for a while. So I'm excited for that. But, Dustin, I'm sure you didn't see this, but I, famously hate Twitter threads and put one out today.
Okay.
And the second I hit send, NBA, because it was about communications and like what the hell is Top Shot doing? The second I hit send, NBA Top Shot was like, hey, we're going to bring back biweekly spaces. It was like, it couldn't have been more poorly timed on my part with it. But it's
Bi-weekly space is great, and limit people tweeting things out.
That one.
Please.
That's so my thread. We don't.
Yeah, you want to pull it up? Let's look at it.
All right. Well, all right. Hold on. I want to make.
I also do want to talk about this historical pack because I've got some thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, the NFL All Day one.
Yeah.
And we should say, like, I'm sure a lot of people are actually listening to the spaces right now. Hold on, I gotta move my.
So what is the spaces right now? Sorry, because I have been.
So is Jacob?
Deep in the streets.
Jacob was over there. So they announced a roadmap update, and there's basically gonna be no more pack drops that for money. It's going to be mostly tickets, and a lot of things are going to be challenges and stuff like that. That's how playoff packs are going to be rewarded in a lot of ways. They got rid of the rookie legendary drop, even though they were hyped about that. They're not doing it anymore.
Wow.
So they really did a reduction. We need better communication at T-Mobile. Excellent, Joseph. Excellent. I'll share this. And the timing
They
was
have a blog
incredible.
post too. Yeah. I want to see your tweet though. Yeah.
So, all right. So I just said, famously, anti-thread, but blah, 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 blah. All right. So we need to get a handle on comms. Listen, I pay for Twitter Blue. Let's do this.
Twitter Blue, baby.
We need to get a handle on comms, acknowledge the red tape when engaging with an institution like the NBA, but the same errors, lack of detail have been surrounding this topic for the better part of the year. What's the plan? And then part two was, employees seem to be ready at a moment's notice to jump on a spaces. Why not do this in an official capacity?
Right.
Publicize it, do it from your own account. These one-off spaces streams continue to create more confusion and chaos for the community while ultimately making the job harder for those who actually do comms for the NBA Top Shot team. It's bits of information that tends to get walked back immediately after. And then, Dustin, this is one for you. Who's leading Top Shot right now? I know we had a GM. Do we still have a GM? If we don't, are we looking for a new GM? And while we're looking for a GM, assuming we are, who is steering the ship? And then, again, back to my infrastructure bullshit. And then I just said, these are the things I will continue to monitor as we move forward. We are all excited. We are all excited to be excited again, but I've seen the Dapper community do more for Dapper than I've seen Dapper do for itself lately. Blah, blah, blah. It's time for leadership to change, to step up with their actions, not apology tweets, spaces, DMs. And then lastly, embarrassingly, I now have to feature my own thread on Team Hold Shut the FUD Up segment. And then again, literally the second I hit send, they went up and did it. So I just was, I was talking about it a little bit this morning, and I hate Twitter threads. I usually find them to be obnoxious, but it's been the same stuff. And I genuinely am starting to feel bad for the people that work at Top Shot, because I don't you're just constantly being put in a corner, and it's not cool. So I don't know. Hopefully this is a step in the right direction. I think the initial reaction is going to be frustration with the rookie revelation being taken aback, because maybe you're like, oh, I didn't go for the Barnes hollow because I wanted the rookie revelation, right? So I think there's going to be some frustration there, but ultimately, listen, I mean, they took away some of the moments.
Do we want to go through the blog post? Because this just went live, right?
Yeah, I can pull it up here. I got it here.
And you ask a question, who is running Top Shot? I'll tell you who. I think I know that answer. Because I say it. They were undecided as to whether or not the person they were going to hire was going to take that spot or what they were trying to do. But I'm pretty sure it's their SVP of marketing, Dave Feldman. I'm pretty sure he is over. I mean, look, so much could have changed since December.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was sort of Tristan and Dave, I think, were overseeing it. And he was maybe going to start looking at NFL all day and skew that way. And that might be the case. But I believe Dave was sort of leading an NBA Top Shot charge along with Tristan.
Absolutely stunned if that's the case today. Only because I mean, I've never seen Dave do anything NBA Top Shot, say anything NBA Top Shot related.
He's not super vocal and active
right.
on. I mean, they don't really put anyone out there like
right.
that.
But anyways, here's a blog, and I'll try to do. I don't want to read the whole thing. But they broke it down by month. So they said they're slashing supplies. This is what we're going to see. April is going to have. We've got our S1 drop. That's going to be trade tickets. We've slashed the second installment of Hustle and Show. So 5 of the remaining 6 Hustle and Show moments from Series 3 will be distributed exclusively through an airdrop, with the 6 being earnable as a challenge reward. So there you go. Lastly, new WNBA Players' Choice 2021 moments will be minted and released to the exact number of challenge completions over the coming weeks as we transition from April to May. Blah, blah, blah. May. Last year's playoff set contained 112. This year's set will be radically smaller with a hard cap at 75. Min counts on these playoff moments will be between 8,000 and 8,750, making them some of the scarcest moments in the series and meaningful, blah, blah, blah. Some of the first NBA playoff packs will be available for trade tickets. In addition to to the playoff drops, the month of May will see a WNBA rare drop featuring historic moments from some of the league's greatest players. This pack will officially kick off Series 4. So no summer series anymore. They scrapped that. No more summer series. They're going to go from 3 to 4. And then all NBA playoff
So that means for Summer League then, right? That includes the Summer League, no Summer League moments.
Or if they do have Summer League moments, they'll technically be part of Series 4. But my guess is we don't have them. I think
so too.
And then, yes, all NBA playoff drops will be part of Series 3. But Series 4 content will begin before Series 3 fully wraps. That makes sense to me. That makes sense. June, the rare conference finals drop, and then there were 4 along with the legendary finals drop. We'll have extremely limited common drops in June for later rounds of the postseason. Last but not least, there will be a historical rare and legendary pack drop and first of its kind in June event that we'll be sharing more details about in late May. We're excited about this one. Packs will be extremely limited in supply, hard to come by. I think Jacob said in the space is like 5,000 packs.
Is this like a throwback thing, you think? Like
something like that. And he said it wouldn't have to do with the playoffs. That's what they also said.
Well, it says historical rare. So are we going to see exactly what we're seeing with NFL all day?
Maybe it's something like that.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah. Speaking of which, I should see. Okay, 22,000. I've got like 6 days to wait. So to recap, there will be no more pack drops involving any Series 3 content for the rest of April.
Oh, wait, hold on. There will be no any Series 3 content for the rest of April. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Granted, it's April 22nd. So just, that's 8 days. Congrats. Our international themed common set and our rookie themed legendary set will both be postponed to a later series to ensure both sets feel unique and incredible at rollout. One of our
Okay.
upcoming drops will start at a time that's optimized for our international community's convenience.
Okay.
There you go. They're going to hold off on the $9 packs that Rohan talked about with a chance at a rare or legendary moment until 2022. The final Hollow and MGLE moments will be redeemed in packs that are sold exclusively for trade tickets. And then lastly, our Jaw Throwdown Challenge and our new Teamwork themed rare set will be both earnable through new types of challenges that will go live shortly. So I think like the main takeaway from there is like those of you who had your trade tickets ready, you're probably gonna be good to go.
Be able to use them, yeah.
So that's exciting.
It sounds like we're not going to get you spend so much money. You probably got a lot of trade tickets. We're not going to ask you to spend any more money.
Yeah.
You've took enough L's. We're sorry.
Yeah.
And here's how we're going to make up for it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm hopeful. I don't know. I'm hopeful they're wrapping their heads around stuff now,
You would think. I mean, you would think, you would hope. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of with We the People, and I know We the People is constantly negative. So I don't know. Nothing in that blog moves me. It just great. I mean, look, if you want to take a positive, they're listening and they're trying to do stuff that feel positive for Top Shot collectors.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know.
No, listen, I said it this morning. I'm done putting money into it as I line up for an NFL all day pack, but I'm done putting money into it until I see some meaningful change. For two reasons. One, I don't trust it right now. I don't trust the direction we're going. And two, I've already done it. I've already put the money in. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I'm not putting any money in. I've already backed up a truck.
100% same. I have reduced the amount that I am spending.
Yeah.
Like I've done a complete stop. I've done a few UFC things, but not much. And I have really like this NFL all day drop. I'm not going to buy it. Like we can get into it, but I've just spent, and I know that there's dapper to be made. I know it sounds like it's going to be a pretty EV positive one. So I don't blame anyone going after it, but
yeah.
I'm not trying to, I don't think I'm there yet and trying to pull some things off. Cause conversely, the other thing is if I do make some dapper, just giving it back to them. Right. I don't want to do that. And I'd rather make money and pull it out. If I can, I don't want to just make $150. It ends up in dapper. And then I say, I'm going to buy this. And then it turns out, well, I spent that money, put it all back in there and they have even more of mine. And then probably whatever I bought is just going to continue to drop in price.
I know.
So,
and I don't mean that as like FUD either. Like I'm still going to engage with the platform. I just like, I'm playing with what I got now. I'm playing with what I got. And I'm sure I'll still buy and sell, but it's going to be just with what I already have and less
100%.
Less of fire.
We're not, I think we're not chasing as much anymore. Right. And like now there's more things to look at. So I'm definitely excited by a lot of the UFC stuff. But I'm gonna. Year ago, me would have already bought those Diaz moments, and now I'm like,
you just wait. We just wait.
Yeah, wait. Like there's going to be more stuff.
They're not going to go away.
No, they're going to be there, and people always want money, and they will try and get some dapper and sell some things because something new and shiny that they maybe care more about will come out. And so I'm not in a rush to get it. Oh, I forgot to mention too in the UFC thing, what they're doing is, there's a marketplace spend. You get $49 in dapper credit, which essentially is like what you bought for the packs. There were 40. If you spend, I think it's like $205 or something like that. I can't remember. Here it is. $209. If you spend it in the marketplace, you'll get $42 in dapper credit, which essentially covers that pack cost. Yeah. So it's kind of like, look, we're rewarding you for being active in the marketplace. If you want to buy one of those moments, we're going to give you some money back. If you want to buy other stuff to go after this challenge, we're going to give you money back. It's just encouraging marketplace spend.
Yeah,
but for
All
me,
Day's
I'm
doing that right now too.
Yeah,
they're doing a 50 to because I bought a Gronk yesterday for 50, but basically bought it for 25 because I'm getting 25 back. So
yeah, so I'm. It's fine. It's nice that they're doing it, but I'm not in a rush to just keep throwing money at it.
TST coming up next in Spaces. Can we listen here? What are you talking about, David? What are you talking about?
Someone said they were impressed that you were in the Spaces and doing the show live.
I forgot I was on my phone. I forgot I was still in there.
You should go in, request, and say you're live on Team Hold like the way
I
my
just
man Top Shot Tony would.
Top Shot Talk is speaking right now.
Mm.
Whatever. Let's pull it up.
Yeah,
I
why
don't.
not?
Yeah, I don't want to do that too long, just because I feel like that's going to be annoying. But let's see what we got here. All right. So,
Yeah, I mentioned this at the top, Tom. I'm not chasing that challenge. I like that it's happening, but I'm not going after it. I don't have the clay. If I had the clay, I'd do it. I'd probably need to buy a few of those moments, but the clay is at like 200. So
the best, just people who
Can you hear that?
Yeah,
know what they're talking about and can contribute a little
Who's
bit. Just I
talking?
think adds a lot to the product. So that's kind of where I'm at.
No disagreements at all, Eric. I appreciate the perspective, and
Oh, Eric.
certainly
I really want you to go in there.
your insights are well thought out and well grounded. I think, frankly, it's a combination of all the things they talked about, plus just us being able to slow down a little bit, right? And we'll be able to do that by decreasing the number of drops we have planned.
Because I can't speak from
playoffs. We want
desktop,
challenges.
I don't
we want
think.
people
Can
to
you
be
say
excited.
what's up, Top Shot
Just
Nation?
being really thoughtful and meticulous in terms
You think
of
they'll let Tony
being
go
able
on?
to have
Fuck no.
opportunistic slowdowns.
No, they will
with
not.
Just our sheer volume of
I'm gonna try.
All right, you're gonna request
points of
it.
failure. Is
Yeah.
probably the easiest way to put it. And,
If not, you should
it's
go from
counterintuitive because every time we do
Team
a challenge,
Hold
it's so
Twitter
exciting,
account.
it's fun. But
and
it
then
does
jump in and say,
open up
and then
risks
be
that,
Tony as Team Hold.
Yeah.
I can say,
You know what? I think the
not
best
in
thing,
terms of
the
Hack
best
their
thing,
account, baby.
There just
the
isn't
best thing to do
another
is
project that
request, and
operating
then
at
when they
that
deny
scale
it,
of
I can
points of
tweet it
failure on
out.
a daily basis. So
Great. It's it's like you got blocked and
you
you're
use a baseball
tweeting out the
analogy
screenshot.
of the closer has a 95% save rate or a 98% save rate.
All right, let's see what I can do
The
here.
blown saves just stand out so
Tom,
much
he's
more.
going
So,
through his phone, so we're listening
points well
on
taken,
desktop,
Eric,
but to
and
try and speak, he's
certainly,
going to do it through.
We're
his phone.
working hard on addressing those concerns because the current failure rate is frankly not acceptable, nor somewhere that we're
Yeah,
at all
you think?
happy
Great.
with.
You think
Really
it's not
appreciate your
acceptable?
time and your answers here, and the updates sound
Oh,
great.
they're not going to
Looking
let me.
forward to see what
The
happens.
current failure rate.
Thanks, Eric.
Yikes.
We've got time for, we don't really have
Hold
time,
on.
but I'm going to try to squeeze in the last two questions.
Yeah,
from the
Tony,
speakers
to
that have
end it.
been called up. Let's start
Come
with
on.
Top Shot Shark, and then we'll go to Top Shot Talk.
I think I'm gonna have a breakdown if
I'm gonna be like,
I'm listening to like three different things. I'm listening to you. I'm listening to this stream.
how much of this?
We gotta stop. We gotta stop.
Yeah, it's not working out.
What was kind of fun though, I'll show you the Top Shot Tony tweet here.
I did like that Jacob said that at the current failure rate is unacceptable, and it's just a great statement.
Yeah,
that you want to hear. The current failure rate. My God.
there we go.
Whew.
Don't silence me, cowards. And I like that Tony's right next to Zakarian.
This is great. It's someone had a great comment too. If you would have jumped on, you would have.
How
Sway? You don't got the answer, Sway. Oh God, that would have been great.
I love Jacob, and Jacob is smart enough to know not to approve.
Oh,
that.
100% to entertain that. I'm not letting him on.
Yeah,
He's not letting Tony on.
Smart man.
We do like Jacob a lot.
No, we do.
We do. He tweeted out. I don't know. Did you see the shot? I should say sorry, guys. This is copyright infringement. Please take it down. But it was him as the like, help me Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. And it's him squatting. Do you want me to pull it up?
I think, yeah, it was Clegane's meme, right? Because I know Clegane's and Jeb were going back and forth. And I think Jeb's furious they used Clegane's, not his. So he's
I'm sure. But I like, I like that Jacob used it for that. Like, I thought that was a nice little personality touch.
Yeah, no, I love it. Listen, I'm pro Jake again. I
love Jacob.
It's not individuals that's a problem. It's the infrastructure, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I do listen, I think they're making some strides. But again, actions will speak louder than apologies. So,
yeah.
All right, our man Mihal's here. We're gonna talk some F1. Dustin, are you hanging around for a little bit? What are you doing?
I'm gonna dip for a minute, but I'm gonna let you guys cook on the F1. But I might try and come back as we go into the NFL all day stuff.
All right, Dustin, can you just tell a story for like 2 seconds while I refill my water before bring me on?
Yeah, I can.
Just get into some business. Oh no, I removed the wrong one.
Go ahead, Mike.
I read.
All right, what do we want to talk about, guys? It's ours. It's ours to control. We got Mihal in the back. We're gonna hang there. so he can get into the F1. We the people's ready for that. You guys want to talk anything else UFC? I'm going to scrub back up to the comments, see if I missed anything. Someone did a Discord call right now trying to hit us up. Big ticket. Jesus Christ, big ticket. It's the worst possible noise you can get is the Discord call noise. But yeah, I'm trying to see if there was anything else UFC related that people wanted to talk about. It doesn't look like there's much. That's what I was checking.
I saved you. You don't have to find anything. You're good.
Yeah, I just my breakfast cereal's like Lakers.
No,
I said, what should we talk about while Mike's gone? Yeah.
Is Mike going to survive? Yeah, we'll be okay. He'll be okay. Oh, Marvel Alpha? You got any Marvel Alpha?
Go see Doctor Strange.
I'm excited to see Doctor Strange. I can see Batman. Batman's on HBO. I got to check out Batman.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched it yet either, but I know it's on HBO Max.
I'm watching.
I'll give you some alpha that's not Marvel Alpha. It's alpha about me.
What?
Yeah, alpha about me. You'll see your boy featured in Variety.
Oh, that's happening. Let's go.
A couple of weeks, yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
So doing an interview today, which is like a little nerve-wracking.
Let's go.
And
do you need a quote?
Yeah, Greg was like, you got to find a way to wedge in the words team and hold in there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Dude, but yeah, getting a little, going to be in the printed magazine.
That's
so also, I was selected for something. I'll just say that I was selected for something. So.
Luis, get in line, bro. Get in line. All right.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Greg and I both work for a studio. Greg's wife is a producer. Mike is first in line if there's anything that can be done.
And how many times did they reach out? 0.
We're just trying to pump your boy on Severance, his bags.
Dude, seriously, I get him a spinoff, get him his own thing. And I feel like that was a pipe dream until Severance, and now that man can cook. Did you watch Severance?
Okay, so I'm in second episode. I started episode 3 yesterday.
Woo!
It's really good, but I do have to say, anyone who is a parent, do not attempt to watch it after your children fall asleep at 10:30. Instantly knocked out. It's like NyQuil. Good night. You will fall asleep.
But once you get to episode like 3, then that vibe it starts grinding.
Okay.
Severance. I'm ready to have a show. I'm ready to do a show so we can talk about Severance. I want to talk about Slow Horses with some people. I want
Winning Time.
I want to talk Tokyo Vice. I've been watching.
I've got a lot of opinions on Winning Time, so maybe I can come back after you and Mal cook. But I've got a lot of just like Better Call Saul. Yeah,
Barry.
You know who's a Better Call Saul too is our man Shuckster. He can get into some. I think he did a whole podcast on Better Call Saul. But I'd love to talk about Winning Time just as like a how it was shot, all that kind of stuff, more so than just what it is in Lakers and all that. It is amazing.
And then I'm gonna let you get out of here. We'll get Mihal on here. I had a tweet that should have gone viral yesterday, and I'm mad that it didn't pop off as much as it did. And I'm blaming the Hollywood elitists right now who did not pick this up. I tweeted out
Hollywood elitist.
Jerry West suing HBO.
Oh yeah, that was great.
What the character would do.
It was phenomenal. It did some numbers, but it should have went.
That should have had 1 million. That should have had 1 million because there's very few times where I'm like, dude, this is fucking good. We're gonna fire this out.
It was a great tweet. I actually mentioned it to someone I was speaking with yesterday and said that.
Let's go. I'll take it.
Oh wait, Shuckster lives in Albuquerque. Is that where he's from? Albuquerque. I didn't know that.
Is that real?
I've been there, and there's not much going on. I've been there for a few set visits, and you understand. Well, you just understand why things like Breaking Bad existed because ain't shit going on there.
All right, Justin, let me get you out of here. We're gonna talk some F1, baby, while we still wait in line. I'm still like 20,000 away. Before I get a pack, and then I'll rip this bad boy. But
I'll see you guys. I'll try to jump back in after. I do want to talk about all that other stuff. So
all right.
See you guys
later, man. All right, we're bringing on. Oops, I put him back on. We're bringing on our man Mihal. We haven't seen him in a while. Mihal, what's going on?
Hello, what's up?
How we doing, man?
Doing good. I've been out for some time, some injury, but getting better now. So
stronger.
That's good.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Mihal and I have been chatting about some F1 in a while. I know there's been some conversation in the Discord, and we figured what better time than while we're waiting in line for NFL all day to just chit chat about a little F1. We had qualifying today, right? Qualifying this morning, right? Did it already happen?
Yeah, it was afternoon here, but yeah,
But
it's happened like
afternoon.
a few hours ago. It's
And
pretty
then
messy because it was like wet, dry, so it's always a bit
it's a little gross.
tricky.
So bagged wine is saying no spoilers. Some of us haven't watched qualifying. We'll talk around it then. We'll talk around qualifying. But we have let's do before we get into this weekend, right? Because we have the sprint this weekend and we also have the Grand Prix. What's been like, because we're what, three events into this season? Is that right?
3 races in so far.
What's been like your like big takeaway so far of what you've seen so far this season?
So far, it looks like Ferrari master race. There's like nobody to challenge them. I mean, Red Bull is pretty far, similar on speed, on pace.
Yeah.
But they have like huge reliability issues, mostly around fuel system. I think because this year they like took over from Honda the whole engine division. Now they take care of the engines. Technically, because they like rehired a lot of Honda engineers, so those are like the same people. But but yeah, it seems like they have some problems around it, and both Max and Sergio Perez are like really annoyed. You can see this, so
yeah,
it's interesting. And like Leclerc is like not making any mistakes and has like a huge lead right now. So
it's funny because Leclerc's he's been talked up. I feel like and again, I for people listening right now, you have to know that this is like the first season I've watched. Actually, last season I watched start to finish, but this year really is the first time. Like I was introduced like every boring American in the last year through the Netflix series. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I feel like Leclerc's been talked up the last couple of years, being like this next young phenom who's going to take over. And I was always not unimpressed, but I was like, I hadn't really seen any results that's the case. But this year, I mean, he's been dominant.
Ferrari was like really bad in last 2 years, last 2 seasons. But you know, he's like a young guy coming into Ferrari.
Yeah.
And like absolutely obliterates 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel, like absolutely destroyed him the moment that he came to Ferrari. So you know there's like a pace, and the whole generation that's coming into Formula One, like Lando Norris, Leclerc, George Russell, those are like really, that was like one of the best Formula 2 seasons when they were like competing.
Yeah.
And now they're like getting into fast cars in Formula One, and things are getting interesting.
Well, Mercedes is pretty interesting too right now because it kind of feels like Russell might be a little bit faster.
Seems like he is like a bit more lucky, but also like he's using every opportunity. So even though like Mercedes is not like very fast car this year, they're maybe like 4th, 5th fastest. He's currently second in the like drivers classification, because he used every chance he had to kind of scrape the points, like scrape everything from the like the bottom of the barrel he could. So that's really interesting. Like they managed to make do even though they're not very fast, using the fact that the Red Bull is not very reliable and so on.
It does make me wonder too if I don't know how mid-season adjustments go, but if they are able to make any sort of engine or car mid-season adjustments, it feels like they'd be able to catch up pretty quickly. Maybe not to Ferrari, but to the like in the Constructors' Cup. I feel like they'd be able to make some moves quickly.
You have to put into perspective that those are the guys that won every constructor championship last 8 years.
Right.
So you cannot underestimate them. They may have some issues. They maybe didn't figure out the new car concepts because the technical regulations changed this year, like completely. But they will catch up. They're like one of the smartest guys in the sport, and they will figure it out. The problem right now is that, like in previous years, they cannot like put infinite amount of money into it,
right?
Like they used to do before, because now there's like a cost cap. So previously you just like bring a new parts every race and like see what works, and now you have to kind of like put strategically those fixes. Because you have like limited amount of money you can use on car performance. I think it's like 140 million this season.
Yeah. Which you're right, it levels the playing field a little bit, right? Like it
helps the smaller team. And you can see like in Haas, they basically last year they said like screw it, we're like doing anything, we're just putting everything into the next season, which is and you can see it. This like the car from the start was like very well developed, has like one of the most complex aero concept, but also like Kevin Magnussen coming back, being like pretty experienced driver, like suddenly when the Russian driver had to be like removed from the thing.
It's so funny too, not funny, but I feel like, and maybe it's because I'm over here and F1's not in the news as regularly as say like the NBA is or the NFL, but like I feel that would have been a massive storyline if like the New York Yankees center fielder's last name was Rasmussen, and and like his dad also funded the Yankees, and they were like, yeah, Rasmussen's not on the team anymore. And like that was like so, and for that to happen like a week or two right before
exactly.
That's crazy.
They had to like scrape all the branding and so on. And
I cannot wait. I hope the documentary, like the docu-crew was already there, and that we're gonna get Gunther just talking about like just.
I hope they were in the room and he like picked up that phone.
That's insane. I mean, what a wild thing. What a wild thing.
But it was like crazy comeback from the K-Mac. He was like preparing to race in like I don't know, like one of those like long range series. Yeah. And he got called like 2 weeks later. He comes to Formula One, and suddenly he's like in the points.
Really finished like seventh or eighth in that first race.
Seventh, yeah. And today in qualifying, we're not gonna put spoilers, but it was really good results today also.
Wow,
so they were pretty. They didn't do well in Australia, but I think they're back on track again, which is great to see. It's also interesting dynamic for the Mick Schumacher, the young Schumacher that's in the Haas team, because the Nikita Mazepin was like no challenge for him, but now he has to like fight against this like very experienced driver, and suddenly he looks slow. But I think it's really good for him because that's a very good learning experience, and he's like in that part of his career that he needs to learn. So I think, even though it makes him look a bit slow right now, it's going to be good for him in the long term to have that challenge.
And before we get into like this weekend a little bit, one of the other teams that I was excited about, that I'm always excited about, is McLaren, because I love Daniel Ricciardo, and they got off to like a really bad start. But then a much in the Australian Grand Prix had a much better, right? They both finished in the points, correct? Like was it 6th and 7th or 5th and 7th, something like that?
Yeah, it seems like they're getting better and better and better. They're just learning how to set up that car properly. Mm-hmm. But also when you like listen to Lando, for example, he's like very pessimistic about like how it's gonna go, and maybe it's not gonna be so fast. And so it's interesting. I think their car is just like not fast enough to like other competition. And it's gonna be maybe pretty hard for them to catch up, especially that like it seems like all teams running the Mercedes engine are having a bit of like performance issue. Mm-hmm. So there's like something going on there. Like nobody says officially anything, but when you look like the max speeds of the cars, something is there. Like those cars are like not as fast as other, like for example Ferrari driven cars.
It feels like they're only going to succeed in those like shit show races where we get a lot of flags.
There is some potential for a shit show this weekend because there's gonna be some rain. This is like very old school track, so instead of like wide kind of asphalt runoff, you get like a lot of gravel. So if you get out, you're out pretty much.
Yeah.
So there's potential for for some adventures.
Do you think, because I learned or became an F1 fan through a Netflix show, so that says everything you need to know about me. And because of that, Daniel Ricciardo became like my favorite racer because of how like fun he is. Like they made him the star, mainly because Red Bull or Lewis Hamilton in Series 1 was like, I don't want to be in this. And then he saw how famous Daniel Ricciardo got. He's like, all right, maybe I'll be in Season 2. But is the sun setting on Ricciardo? Is he like, because Lando is this like young buck who is really talented, and it seems like it seems like he's a little bit better than Ricardo right now, and that they're like it's a 1-2. Like right now, it feels like 1A, 1B. They're still very close, but I wonder if moving forward, there's going to be like the gap is going to get a little bigger and bigger between Lando and Ricardo.
Yeah, like Daniel's like 32. He's getting kind of towards the age when you peak in Formula One. So yeah, he has to like. And he's shown previously that he's not super adaptable driver. Like his first year at Renault was like really trashy, and then he started getting better towards the second season. So clearly, for McLaren, the future is Lando. So if like Daniel will not, get like some good results in a year or two, he's not gonna get it at McLaren, right?
Yeah.
He also he seems like he's gonna be like the driver at Red Bull when Sebastian Vettel went for Ferrari, but then suddenly this young kid Max Verstappen showed up and kind of like messed up the whole thing. So
and
a lot of in Formula One career is about timing, and it's like similar in NBA. Like you kind of end up on the wrong team in the wrong time, and you're not gonna get that ring. And it's similar in Formula One. So he's not been very lucky in like kind of getting in the right places in his career.
And there's so much like mental toughness and ego involved in this, like, and which you need. I think you do need it because you have to believe that you are better than everyone else in order to succeed in that sport. But the team dynamics are so interesting, right? Because you both need to do well to succeed, but you're like it's designed that you need to beat your teammate. And
basically like your teammate is like your biggest enemy in a way, but also you have to like work towards the common goal of like doing best for the team. So the safest best for the team is have like designated number one driver and maybe older, more experienced, like stable driver that knows that his place is number two. Some like the setup right now Red Bull has. It's set up. When you have like both young drivers that want to like fight for the championship, you get kind of like situations like like Leclerc and Vettel crashing into each other, or like Hamilton and Rosberg like a few years ago. They were just like crazy fighting against each other and crashing, and it was like it gets tricky. And
what's interesting too about that? Because I would have thought that would have been the same setup that is it Alpine? Is it Alpine, Esteban, and
I think they call it Alpine because
Alpine. I'm sorry, Alpine. Yeah, Alpine.
But,
Alpine with Fernando. No, but I thought for sure that would be the setup that they had, right? Where Esteban's like the one, and Fernando's there like the vet who's going to be there for number two. And it feels like every time they race, they are like up each other's ass the whole time.
Also, Fernando came back with like this attitude that he's like no fucks to give. He basically like he laughs into like organizers and the judges and so on, and like makes fun of their decisions because he can. Like he's such an established persona in the sport that like he's allowed to do it. He's like racing like crazy even though he's 40, and he said, and he basically says that he came back to like get another championship. And like it's really funny because like nobody believes it, but then suddenly he gets results, and it's like,
I mean, he's been like he's not in the like top. I'm never thinking he's going to win the race like when it starts, but he's always like top 5 to 7. Like he's always in that run. I'm enjoying it. If you were like, because I feel like there's a lot of people watching right now that like are aware of F1. They're not like really F1 fans. Who would be your like go-to if you want to get into this and you want someone to root for? Who was bandwagon would you jump on? I know Ferrari's probably the easy answer because like they're young, they're very talented, and they're winning. But like if you weren't to go Ferrari's direction,
they're also like the most decorated team in the history of Formula One. I think like McLaren is like very interesting team because they're like going up. They had like very big crisis 5 years ago, and now they're on the way up. It's gonna be bumpy, but they're on the way up. They're like really fun team with like Lando and Daniel Ricciardo. They do really good stuff around marketing. They like their boss is like American. They're like really aware of like importance of presence in USA. So they also do a lot of stuff around this. So I think, and it shows because like in polls they're like the most popular and root for team.
Yeah.
I'm also like big fan of Red Bull since they bought like Jaguar in like 2005, and I've been following there since then. And they're shown like those like kind of bad guys, but they kind of brought this modern kind of a bit party adventure like approach to Formula One, because previously it was like super serious, guys in suits, like drivers wouldn't like talk to media, there would be like no social media, and there's suddenly like pop up and like have like garage blasting like loud music, and like these guys like party in the evenings and so on. They like brought this kind of fun approach to Formula One. It was like, you know, nearly 2 decades ago now, but I think there's still this like team with like a good spirits, and I really like them.
Yeah, and Red Bull will not turn an interview down now. Like Christian will talk to anyone and everyone, and he's almost embracing the villain role.
Oh yeah, exactly. He loved that that kind of persona that Netflix created.
Again, even if you're not an F1 fan, the Netflix, they do like such a good job of like of just like narrating drama, and it's just so captivating. Because I went into the show just being like, I need something to watch. I wasn't really an F1 guy, and I just sucked me in. But Max Verstappen this most recent season was like, I'm not going to participate in the series because I want to focus on my driving. And Christian almost like, you know, took a fork and knife out and was like, don't worry, I got this. Like, and he did. He was interviewed. He must have spent like 15 or 16 hours just like on a chair talking to them when it's all said and done. One more team that I wanted to throw out that I really like rooting for, and it's mainly, again, because of this show, is AlphaTauri, and it's because of Yuki. Like, I'm just a big Yuki fan. This dude, speaking of someone who gives no fucks, he yells at everybody. He just wants to eat like shit food. He's incredible. He's so funny. He's
it's
like
really
a fun
funny,
young
like
guy.
how he admitted that he has like less feet than his like 60-year-old boss. Like,
but it's really good. So we've got 2 races this weekend, right? So we've got the sprint format, which is on Saturday, and then the Grand Prix on Sunday. What's your like? Because the sprint format just got introduced last season, correct?
Yeah, they did it for the first time last season. There was like 3. They did it only on 3 races, and they do it again on three races. So it's gonna be like Imola this weekend. It's gonna be, I think, Austria and Brazil. And it's basically, we do qualifying on Friday instead of on Saturday. Then on Saturday we have a short run, 100 kilometers, so it's like around half hour. And it's the qualifying results counts towards the sprint race. And then when you win the sprint race, you're going to be the first on the actual race on Sunday. So this is like a second qualifying, and there's like fast pace, usually no pit stops, and it's like basically pure racing.
It's like a 30-minute race too, right? Like
exactly, half hour,
And does do you accumulate points towards the championship with the sprint as well?
Yeah, last year there was points for only 3 first position, but they like kind of modified to people have like more investment into it, because people kind of ignored this last year a bit.
Yeah.
Just took it safely because there was like no incentive. And this year it's like you get points for the first 8 positions. So basically 8 points for the first, 7 for second, and so on.
So we've got the sprint tomorrow and the Grand Prix on Sunday. And we won't go too deep into that just because, again, qualifying just happened, and I don't want to spoil it if people are watching it after work or something. But the last thing I wanted to talk about, Emil, if you're down for it, I think like I would love to do this, whether it's not necessarily every happy hour, but maybe like every other week, we can just kind of like catch up with what's going on with F1, because this is fun. And I just, for me. Yeah, I just am looking forward to talking about F1. Maybe we can bring on other guests as well. But I know you messed around with like a McLaren NFT. Has there been like, have we seen F1 like dabble into the Web3 world at all?
There were a few things. First of all, like Formula One went into NFTs very early, together with like the Rev Racing and Amico brands. They did kind of a racing game a bit similar to like the horse racing. This is like Zed Racing.
Yeah, like Zed Run.
So you bought NFTs to kind of race. So you have to buy like engines and tires and drivers, and have you like set up your package and race with it like in a game, and you could like win money. That was like very early. It was like started nearly 2 years ago, and I think it's a bit dead right now because there are like barely any racing and not many people participate. But there are also like, apart from like just nameless drivers cards, there was also drivers cards for like Sebastian Vettel, shows like the actual drivers.
Yeah.
And you look at OpenSea and they like sell for like $150,000 and something like that, something crazy, right?
Wow.
Then there was like few teams did some NFTs, like Aston Martin did something with Crypto.com because they're their sponsor.
Okay.
Red Bull together with McLaren did something with like Tezos, like some collectibles, and the McLaren one I dabbled pretty deep into, but they like it's officially run by McLaren, but they like didn't give any perks for that. You basically like look like a cash grab, they sell the NFTs and there's like nothing out of it. So it seems like they use it as a way to finance stuff. So far.
I wonder too if it's hard for F1 to like collectively come together and do something because of how many other brands and exactly what Brandon just said. Actually, licensing is so difficult in F1, so many levels to it. Yeah. And I wonder, it's probably hard to make something like that happen because it's not like it's just the F1 brand. You're now involving so many other different moving pieces.
Yeah, even like because the organization is so complicated, because there's like a drivers association, there's like constructor association, there's like FIA, which is like and although has a different rule set, and every constructor have their own sponsor, so it's really hard to do anything together.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's complicated, and I think
Aaron asked if you are sponsored by Red Bull. Do you have an official deal with Red Bull, Michal?
No, I think I'm sponsoring them. Like the amount of drink I drink, I actually like support the team.
That's good. You're part of the team.
I'm part of the team. Yeah. So yeah, well, not sponsored.
Well, this is great, man. I appreciate you doing this. I know we've been talking about doing it for a little bit, and I'm glad you are feeling well enough that we're back at it. It's good to have you back in the fold.
Let's continue this.
Yeah. We'll talk to see, because I know F1's not necessarily weekly either, but maybe every time that they have Grand Prix coming up, like they do this weekend, we'll do it on the Friday and keep spinning it off. And it works out well too if there's a queue going on. Yeah.
How's it going? Where are you? I'm like, I'm 13,000.
Yeah, I'm 14,000 right now. And this is like, I know some people are in line for their second time. This is like my first time in line. I think I was like last in line. So
yeah, it was pretty far back too.
That's okay.
I'm actually not sure if I'm gonna buy this pack. I buy every like I buy every cheaper pack of NFL. I have like, I don't know, 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with them, but I'm just like buying them because
I know. I mean, you still have your candy packs in my account as well.
Yeah. And Candy seems to like finally unlock the international access.
Slowly but surely.
Maybe we'll figure it out at some point.
Slowly but surely. Ooh, Borland said there's a guy in the Team Hold Discord that got a legendary Urlacher. Okay. And last thing too, Bad One says, yeah, we've been doing if you're in the Team Hold Discord, which I'll drop a link now in there. But if you're in there, we have an F1 channel, and we've been doing some fun little fantasy, which I keep forgetting to set because you have to set your lineup before qualifying. And I always look to set it up like Sunday morning. I'm like, I got to get my lineup ready. It's like, no, it's locked. But fortunately, because of my McLaren boys with Leclerc and Ferrari construction, we've been crushing. So it's fine. But yeah, get in there. But yeah, Michal, thanks for coming on, man. This was a blast.
Thanks. See you around.
Yeah, I hope everybody has a good weekend. Good luck in the queue. We are back on Monday, and hopefully I don't sound like shit when we're here. So I hope everybody has a good weekend. Collect your trade tickets, and once I find the video, we're out of here. See you guys.
Well, the top shot streets are